I'm meteorologist Michaela Lucero. The tropics are busy. We've been telling you about Franklin as well as Idalia. Now, Franklin is still a hurricane, but Idalia has actually been downgraded to a tropical storm. It's still dropping very heavy rainfall for many of our southern states, but it is weakening significantly. When we look at the most recent model data that we've seen come in, what we know is winds are at 70 miles an hour. So that tells us that it's still a very powerful tropical storm, but has fallen below that Category 1 hurricane criteria. As far as its direction, well, north-northeast at about 21 miles per hour, so it is moving at a very good pace. It's expected to continue to ride that South Carolina coastline over the next several hours, dropping heavy rainfall before it turns and heads back off into the Atlantic. It will maintain its strength as a tropical storm as it heads off into the ocean, but here's the good news. Franklin, that has been off in the Atlantic, has actually soaked up a lot of the energy that's out there, so Idalia won't have a whole lot to tap into as it heads that way. Here are a few things that we know about Idalia. It was a Category 3 when it made landfall, and this is the first time that a Category 3 has ever hit the Appalachian Bay and the Big Bend of Florida. It made landfall on Keaton Beach at about 125 miles per hour, which we're going to talk a little bit more about here in just a second. And we've gotten some data in. Cedar Key is reporting 9.6 feet of storm surge from Idalia. So let's talk about those miles per hour. 125 miles per hour when it made landfall. When we look at our categories, that's only 5 miles per hour below a Category 4 hurricane. So it was a powerful storm as it made landfall, a powerful Category 3 just barely below that Category 4 criteria. We're also watching Hurricane Franklin in the Atlantic, passing just to the north of Bermuda, expected to maintain its strength for the next couple of days. Now, both of these storms will have impacts on the beaches across the East Coast. I know Franklin seems like it's far away. How could that impact us? Well, it's actually going to increase our risk for rip currents as well as dangerous surf across the entire East Coast. So if you're going out for the holiday weekend, planning on going to beaches anywhere on the East Coast, not just our beaches, but also anywhere for Virginia beaches, North Carolina, South Carolina, into Georgia as well. I'm talking the Outer Banks, Myrtle Beach, Charleston, all of those regions will have a very high risk for rip currents as well as dangerous surf. That means really large waves that could be dangerous. So it's going to be a beautiful weekend to spend on the sand, but maybe not so much in those ocean waters. When we look at Futurecast playing through the rest of the night tonight, notice one pocket of heavy rainfall sticks in that center of the storm, but it does start to move off into the Atlantic by Thursday afternoon. This is 2 p.m. on Thursday. Most of us are clear from that. We will see a few clouds from Idalia in our region on Thursday morning, but then that's out of here, and even the storm moves back off into the Atlantic as we get into the start of the weekend. So things do start to quiet down as far as Idalia by Friday, and we will start to see some clearing. However, there will be a significant amount of cleanup for many of our southern states that saw impacts from Idalia.